But these issues raised by Murtala Nyako, the governor of Adamawa State, have they been addressed? Talking about
well, I don't want to
the state, executives.
I don't want to discuss Admiral Yanko.
No, we're not discussing. We're talking about the issues he raised. He's talking about the constitution of state executives of the PDP, as well as he calls it the one-tone and frequent, how do you call it, suspension now of some members of your party. So with Tukur out, have you resolved the issue of your state executives?
This is not the time to go back to certain issues. It can further raise some dust. So the party in its wisdom has done the right thing now to ask Alhaji Dr. Bamanga Tukur to go. And I believe every other person will settle down and face 2015. Because all along the issue is about 2015. Not necessarily Bamanga Tukur, not necessarily any other person, but 2015.
That's what I mean. Hope Monk says this just before he said it. He says Tukur was not the issue. 2015 and control of party structure is the real issue. The new chairman will face the same travail.
Definitely not.
Why not?
We have learned our lessons. We've learned the lesson of redefining our goals. We've learned the lessons of working together as a team. We've learned the lesson of focusing on development of the country. You can see that people wanted to distract the president, Mr. President, but he didn't allow it to be. He focused on the power sector, he focused on housing, he focused on the aviation industry, agri, and so on. That's what they didn't want him to do. The rail lines are working. So many other things are in the pipeline. And between now and 2015 and beyond, definitely Nigeria will be a better place.
2015 really is important, no doubt. And if you're talking about the focus, people also appreciate that good focus of every government, irrespective whether it's the opposition or the ruling party. You must be focused because that's what the people want. But come to think of it, if we're talking about the control of the state's, PDP now, we're talking about executives. If it hasn't been sorted out, because you say moving on is the best thing now, but if you paper over it and just cover it, it will definitely rear its head again. That's why what Hopukon has said, that the next man who comes on the saddle is likely to have the same problem, because you haven't actually addressed the main issue of composition of state executives.
These were sacrifices coming. I think the issue was raised by one of us at the State Chairman's Forum. I think specifically the chairman of Ogun State. We wanted to find out whether the incoming chairman will start dissolving ESCOs that were not properly constituted. But some of us assured him that we all have to make sacrifices to move on. I think our problem really started when the members of the House of Representatives in the PDP, who are in the majority, allowed ACN then to push people behind the speaker, and that was the beginning of PDP problems, and it won't happen again.
But people, some would disagree, and they said, well, it's the first time we're getting to see people having minds of their own, because at that point in time, irrespective of political party affiliation, then they all said, we'll get our own leadership and not listen to the prompting.
You can have a mind of your own, but in politics it could be dangerous. You can't allow your party to be disgraced. You should be a good party man. You should be a team player. Problem like that could be resolved. There is no community, there is no system that doesn't have good people to run such affairs. I'm sure if any other person from PDP had been chosen for the post of the speaker, he probably could have even done much better. It doesn't have to be a particular person. APC doesn't have to join hands to help PDP to choose its own person. I think that was the beginning of our problem, and we have realized it now.
Well, such realization is key here.
It will not happen again.
Well, let's talk about Sokoto State just a little, because it's quite an interesting scenario in Sokoto State. The governor has moved on to the APC, while his deputy is still very much with the PDP. And the last we heard was also state executives were supposed to be constituted in that state, and thinking of giving the parties apparatus to a particular individual, and somehow it never worked. Is it that the PDP in Sokoto State is still, well, disunited, if you're talking about unity now?
Well, when the chief executive leaves or defects to another party, definitely you have this kind of situation. But I'm happy his deputy is still in PDP. The party structure is still there. And it doesn't stop PDP in Sokoto State from moving on. But like the governor of Niger State said, some of these governors that defected were sitting on the fence. Some of them will definitely come back. More so with the exit of our former chairman, Alhaji Bamanga Tukur. Because Sokoto State is predominantly a PDP state. And for the equation to change, a lot of things have to change. And with the new development, there will be a rethink. And sacrifices have to be made. I'm sure consultations are going on. And many governors and many members of the party that went to APC will definitely come back, because it's not a bed of roses in APC. All the freedom
you're not a member, so you wouldn't know.
Member
of the APC.
I can see it. They are fighting each other. They haven't gotten a structure. The party structure is not yet formed. By the time they will form their structure, they will start fighting each other.
Perhaps they're trying to get it right and not get into the kind
you can't get it right.
The kind of the Adamawa governor is talking about, saying that a whole lot has gone wrong in terms of the composition of the party structure in the states. So we can then possibly say the APC has learned from the mistakes of the PDP.
I don't want to
they're taking their time to set it well.
I don't want to use Adamawa example because it's peculiar. I know why it is peculiar. I don't want to go to that area. But other states I can talk very well about them. I know Adamawa situation is peculiar. And if they feel APC can win in that state, with him in that party, they are going to get it wrong.
But you know, when the president was making that statement and the cameras were showing the face of Alhaji Bamanga Tukur, you saw that it was pushed. You could see in his eyes that he didn't want to go. I mean, his previous comments, he didn't want to go. So he had to take the president to announce all of that he has agreed to step down.
No, not that he didn't want to go. He was reluctant to go. He didn't like to go. He felt it was going to be embarrassing, not knowing that we felt differently. We wanted peace in the party. Not that we wanted him out by all means. We wanted peace. We wanted to reorganize the party. We wanted to move forward. We want to win in 2015.
But the same... look at that. You could see that. That's not his normal expression.
It's not an expression. You know, it's a question of finding yourself in a very tight situation.
Is he the sacrificial lamb for 2015?
Well, if somebody have to make sacrifice for us to win in 2015, we'll give it to him. He's a very committed party member.
When Chairman said was he pushed? He wanted to go, and from the expression on his face, it appears he was pushed, in quotes. So was he pushed to be the sacrificial lamb? He was not pushed. He chose to be the sacrificial lamb?
He chose to be. He did his letter, and he did his final bye-bye to the party.
I
They
don't know-
gave him all those.
I don't know if our
opportunities.
producers could play back that. We had a film of him where he said he had not resigned. And when it was time to resign, we will know. And the man who made that statement said it with conviction.
Alhaji Bamanga Tukur is a man of honor. He's an elder, he's a leader. He knows when the ovation is loudest and he knows when to bow out. I think that's exactly what he did.
Just allow me bring this tweet here, and it's from Solly, and it says, age not on Tukur's side, yet the president is giving him a bigger task.
A tougher job.
And the president defined that as a tougher job.
Well, massaging somebody's ego is very, very good at this point in time.
That's what the president was doing, right?
That was exactly what the president and everybody there, we were all moved. The situation was, you could see when the Jolly Good Fellow song was, he too was emotionally involved.
Help us out here, because sometimes it's I mean, if we're looking on from a distance, you may not understand it, but you're an insider. You're one of those who voted in that for him to be ousted. How is it that politicians, we don't see them attack developmental issues with this same zeal, passion, aggression, development, building of roads, schools, preventing ASU from going on strike, but we see them attack the 2015, who becomes chairman, who wins this, who holds party structure. Is this about just themselves? That's what it comes across as.
Well, majority belong to this category you've just described, but a few are ready to develop this country aggressively too. Mr. President is one of those people. Maybe he's on the quiet side. Now he has started commissioning projects so that you can know that it's really working. He has been working behind the scene.
Yeah, because
many people could not.
Many of them, they spend sleepless nights, they have late night meetings, all plotting about how they have to outwit one another, but they spend far less time thinking about how do they break the ice in terms of making some sort of developmental breakthrough in different states and in the country.
Make contributions and make developmental breakthrough, you have to be there first. And at this point in time, I want to encourage all Nigerians who believe that they can do it, who believe that they have something to offer, who believe that they have genuine intention for this country to come out. It should not be for boys. It should be for men who are matured, who are sincere, and who are ready to give this country the best. In every locality, you see somebody that is outstanding. In the area where I live, I know somebody who is ready to clean the drains, help to clean the...
Will they give him a chance?
Well,
if he doesn't have a
all of us
godfather?
have to give them or that person a chance. You and I. What you are doing here is part of it. We Nigerians need more education to get things done properly. We need a change of orientation. We need to be more committed. All these things are still lacking. Mr. President cannot do it alone. Okay. Every other person has to contribute.
All right, we're out of time, but how's the PDP in Lagos? Have they settled all their differences now?
Well, I'm happy to be in charge, and I thank God for giving me the opportunity to serve. I know the leaders had differences. I've been able to bring all of them together. They are in talking terms. They are ready to relate. They are ready to repackage the party in Lagos State. Chief Bode George is back. Ogunlewe is a very, very good politician, ready to serve the people. Obani Koro is a typical politician. He is one of those people who can run around and make things happen. And all other leaders have come together. We are holding regular meetings in the spirit of making PDP work and making PDP win election so that we can change the pattern of governance in Lagos for the better.
Okay, Mr. Tunji Shelle is the chairman of the People's Democratic Party in Lagos. Thank you for coming on today.
Thank you.
We've still got more perspective coming your way, so please join us again after the break.